In today's podcast episode, get ready to meet Kasia, who shares her story of how in 1 year with consistent practices, she was able to improve and reduce her tinnitus. My name is Ben Thompson, audiologist with Treble Health. This is the Tinnitus Relief Podcast. Kasia, tell us about your symptoms at the very beginning. What was the start of this tinnitus journey for you?
I didn't expect any of this, what will happen to me. And actually, if I will start my story, I will start from September 2021, where I get the COVID and I get the poison from the painkiller. And I lost lots of weight. And then I get the ear infection, which in that moment, I have some kind of ringing in that time, October, November 2021. But the infection was clear up, the rigging go away. And then I lost my job. And through the Christmas and New Year, everything was going good till January, February, where I start to have another ear infection. And I didn't hear anything till my ear was start to heal and was start to more open. And I didn't realize what was happening because in the same time, my daughter, she got sick and her virus was damaging her nerve in her ear and she lost a little bit her hearing. So I was very stressed with that situation. And I hear some kind of ringing in my up in my head, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And one weekend, I remember that was getting very bad, and my anxiety, my fears was so bad. Then my whole body was shaking, and the ringing was so loud. I couldn't even believe what is happening. It was just kind of like not real, not real stuff. And
So that was very challenging when the tinnitus became loud. The first time it became very loud. And
that was extremely loud.
yes.
Yeah.
And what helped you initially? And were there people you talked to or doctors that you talked to that did not help? Were there some that did help? What was that like?
So my audiologist was completely telling me that, tinnitus is like a candle. Everywhere it's dark and it's just this candle light. It's the candle and you cannot kind of get away from it. You will always hear it when it's very quiet and right. And it's no cure. You cannot do nothing about it. And my ENT was kind of like, from the medical perspective, you are all healthy, but tinnitus, he said he will not worry about it. People living with this, and he will not worry about it, right? There is no cure, and he gave me some information to lady in Edmonton to retraining therapy. And I went to her, but she was kind of helping, but not quite enough. So I started to getting online, find some more information. And then I found you, Dr. Ben, with your video. And the first video, what I found, that was what to not do, the 5 things what you shouldn't do when you have tinnitus. So that was my first video watching.
Do you remember that?
I was watching your video. Yes, I do remember that.
And what are some of the things to not do?
For sure, to not listen to the tinnitus and to have the sound therapy. And like that was the 5 things I cannot know.
So yeah, the one that you remember is use sound therapy. Don't listen to the tinnitus in quiet. Don't try to focus on it or push through it to have sound to help you move past this. Did you continue to use sound the entire part of the year that you were working on reducing your tinnitus?
So it was, when I met you, Dr. Ben, like this lady in Edmonton, she was talking about the sound therapy too, but completely different way, like you and your team explaining and doing. And I remember my mom had to come from Poland to stay with me in March because I have such a high fears to even be by myself at home. I couldn't stay by myself at home. So my mother-in-law was with me, my husband, but my mom was flying to help me.
So your home is your we want it to be your sanctuary, your place of rest and relaxation, and your temple, your cave. So suddenly the home was the worst place to be with tinnitus. Tell us about that. Why was that?
It was not the worst place to be. It's just I was so in the panic and so afraid of this, what is happening to me. Then I couldn't just be by myself. I don't know. I have very high fears to just be alone. But then when I have people around me at home and I was okay, and they was showing me so much support and the care that was helping me to go through this. But I think if I will be by myself, I couldn't do that without them. So, and when my mom came, I was a little bit more relaxed and I tried to find more answers. So then I found that I can contact you, which I did. And then I have the first meeting with Dr. Tracy, wonderful person. And we was working to the things that I can be able even go in June to my daughter graduation. So that was our priority to work, that I can go and enjoy and support my daughter in that time. And later on, my sister came because my mom has to go back to Poland, and my sister come to support me as well. And the first day of the graduation, that was diploma, and I was a little bit stressed, but I make through. And then next day, that was the party, and that was almost 1,000 people around me and the music. But Dr. Tracy, she helped me so much that I was able to go and enjoy and be part of it.
This is a short interruption from today's video to announce the Tinnitus Quiz. Are you frustrated by your tinnitus? Does it affect your ability to concentrate or fall asleep? If you're ready to find lasting relief from tinnitus, visit tinnitusquiz.com to get personalized solutions and treatment techniques to help you manage your symptoms today.
So you were on this road, and the main goal was to be present at your daughter's graduation when there's lots of noise, and it may be a situation that you stay away from previously because you don't want your tinnitus to get worse. You do not want an increase in the tinnitus, but of course you want to be there for the graduation. And it seems like it went well, so congratulations. I know it takes a lot of hard work and consistency to use sound therapy, to use the CBT strategies for tinnitus. So congratulations there.
Yeah, and I was using the hearing protection, and I was dancing. I was very happy, and in that night, I could feel like almost normal, right? So, and enjoy with my family and friends the time. And another step was I knew all the way that I have to be very socializing with people. That will help me a lot. And my sister came to be supportive for me. And I remember we decided to go to show her a little bit the mountains in Alberta, which is Jasper, Banff, Canmore, Calgary. And we was there for a whole week. And I knew I have to do that to get better and better, which was very challenging for me. But I tried to push myself the much I could, because I knew that later I would get benefit of that kind of socialize and get out of the house and try to be normal. It's possible, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about this. So you're on this road, you're on this journey, and over time things got better. But was your journey up and down, or was it consistent? Yes. Tell us about every week, some weeks better, some weeks worse. For someone who's earlier in the journey than you, what is your advice? And also give us some context. When you started, how bad was it? And right now, after a year, how is it now?
So for sure, that was the days and the weeks where the mood and everything go up and down. Then I have a spikes there. I was having low moments, and of course then you feel one day more better, more strong. Yes, I can do this, will be all fine, it's just take time. But then another day you go down completely and feel depressed, right? And I just want to mention before, in February I went to my family doctor, which he prescribed me the depression pills and the sleeping pills. So I was taking the depression pills for 2 weeks. And these 2 weeks, that was absolutely nightmare. I couldn't sleep the whole 2 weeks at all. I think the depression pills was not right for me, and they make me way more sick than I could even imagine in my whole life. And then sleeping pills, they also make me sick. So in the morning when I wake up, I was so sick, I couldn't function the first 2-3 hours in the morning. So I decided to take everything off. And after 2 weeks, I didn't take anything. And my mind and my thinking was way better, more clear to help me to go through this, right? So that medication didn't work for me at all. And yes, I have the days, like I said, up and down, very struggling. And then the days where I was having hope everything will be okay. My tinnitus was from 0 to 10, I will say 100. My whole head was just like one big ringing. So right now I am under the 1. So I will say between 0 and 1. And sometimes I feel like I cannot hear almost nothing. But then when it's very pure quiet, then you can hear it a little bit, right? So sometimes it's 0.5, sometimes it's almost like nothing, so it's under the 1, I would say. And I'm thinking like sometimes I still getting a little bit upset, then even I have that little bit, but then I going back and think what huge progress I've made, right?
That is
So
big. That is big progress. So for everyone listening, if this is inspirational, if you feel inspired, then comment here on YouTube. I'm inspired or wow, because that is a dramatic improvement. So at the beginning, when you spoke with your doctor or multiple doctors, and they told you there's nothing you can do, obviously that's wrong because, or if they say your tinnitus probably won't get better. I don't know if it will get better. Obviously, that's wrong because you've shown that it can.
Basically, you just live with this. There's so many people living with this. He will not worry about it. So it's just kind of like, and I told him it's hope the science are working on the cure and everything. He said, oh, no, nothing will work. So he was completely not really positive about that part of it, right?
So now you know both worlds. You know the world of being dismissed, feeling hopeless, and really struggling. And you also know the world of working on the sound therapy, working on the mental, emotional strategies, focusing on improving sleep, overall health, and how your tinnitus is between a 0 and a 1. So you understand both of these worlds. Now, congratulations, first of all. I'm glad that we could help you at Treble Health. And that's how we got connected, because we like to feature some of our success stories, some of the tinnitus positive stories, so that the community can have the inspiration and the motivation they need. For the individuals that are only familiar with the struggle of tinnitus, what are your words of advice and encouragement?
Because in the first these weeks, I was in completely panicking mood, right? So I just was kind of trying everything, hypnosis, frequency treatment, whatever is out there, right? So I will say to not panicking this, don't let this panic to get the control over you, because then it's kind of like a one circle running around, but not really getting much results. And right now, my treatment, what I do, it's neurofeedback. And of course, I listen lots, Dr. Joe Dispenza, about the meditation. I also doing the chiropractor treatment in Edmonton. It's the wonderful clinic Inside Out. And this chiropractor is working way different than the regular chiropractor. So it's an amazing person. And I also contact with the Martin Pietrus. He is the guy who worked directly with the Wim Hof, and he have his website in English also, and he is teaching so many different breathing technique who can regulate your nerve system and everything. So I was having with him 5 individual sessions, which helped me a lot to understand how the breathing can be wonderful impact of our nerve system. So now in this weekend, I start to exercise as well, because in the last almost 2 years, I was not able to exercise because I lost so much weight, because when tinnitus came and was so loud, I couldn't even absorb the food, what I was eating. So my body was just food was went through like a water through my body. So I have to build up that as well. So the fears was just eating me from inside. That was so bad. So I mean, my advice is to the people what listening to this is that you should never lose the hope, because you never know what tomorrow will bring. And tomorrow can be the day where your tinnitus reduced for 10, 20% down, or the science will come with some better solution, better treatment. But I believe the brain can be really retrained, and the sound therapy is for me number one. And even I have still very quiet, I still using the sound therapy for 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever I can feel and do, right? And yeah, and I hope then one day you, Dr. Ben, you can make the video of good news that the science have some better solution for tinnitus and hearing loss. So yeah.
Thank you, Kasia. Thank you for sharing your story. And for anyone who wants to ask Kasia a question, you can comment on YouTube, and I'm sure she will be of assistance. Kasia, thank you for sharing your story and for working with our team at Treble Health. Continue with your progress, maintain your baseline levels, maintain your good levels of tinnitus and health, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not giving up yet. So
if you look above this video, you'll see another podcast episode. So make sure to check that out, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.